Have you ever pondered on the idea of strength? Not just physical but spiritual strength? Our narrative today introduces us to a man of incredible strength, both physical and spiritual, Samson. Born in the time of the Judges, Samson was more than a remarkable character in Israel's history. From his birth, he was set apart, chosen by God himself to be a Nazirite. This divine calling came with specific vows, one of which was a promise to never cut his hair. This was not a mere fashion statement, but a symbol of his commitment to God, a testament to his spiritual strength. This uncut hair was a constant reminder of his divine calling and the source of his extraordinary physical strength. Born to humble parents in the tribe of Dan, Samson was destined for greatness, a beacon of hope for the Israelites. Yet Samson, like many of us, had his own share of flaws. Samson, known for his extraordinary physical strength, had a weakness that would lead to his downfall. Samson, despite his divine strength, was not impervious to the allure of love. His heart was captivated by Delilah, a woman from the valley of Sorek. Yet unbeknownst to him, Delilah was not as innocent as she appeared. The rulers of the Philistines had promised her a hefty sum if she could uncover the secret to Samson's might. And so the dance of deceit began. Delilah, with her honeyed words, persistently pried for the source of Samson's strength, but Samson was not easily fooled. He spun tales, misleading her with false sources of his power, yet Delilah was relentless. She accused Samson of not trusting her, of not truly loving her. Then Delilah said to Samson, "How can you say, 'I love you,' when you won't confide in me? This is the third time you have made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength." Judges 16:15. In a moment of weakness, Samson succumbed. He revealed his secret. His uncut hair was the source of his God-given strength. This was the knowledge Delilah had been waiting for. While Samson slept, lulled into a sense of security by his lover's side, Delilah had his hair cut. His strength left him as swiftly as his locks fell to the ground. The Philistines seized Samson, now as weak as any other man. They gouged out his eyes, a cruel irony for a man who failed to see the betrayal in front of him. His downfall was not in a great battle, but in the quiet of sleep, a result of misplaced trust and a broken vow. In a tragic turn of events, Samson's strength was stripped away, not in battle, but in sleep. Stripped of his strength, Samson was captured and humiliated by the Philistines. This was the moment where the mighty Samson, a Nazirite chosen by God, found himself in the clutches of his enemies. His hair, the symbol of his dedication and the source of his strength, had been deceitfully cut off as he slept, leaving him powerless against those who sought to defeat him. In this state of vulnerability, Samson was led into captivity. The Philistines, relishing their victory, gouged out his eyes, adding a physical blindness to his spiritual blindness. He was then thrown into prison, a stark contrast to his previous life of freedom and power. His captors treated him as a spectacle, a source of entertainment, and a symbol of their triumph over the Israelite warrior. Samson, once a beacon of strength and a threat to the Philistines, was now reduced to a source of amusement for his enemies. They reveled in his downfall, mocking him and making him perform for them. This was a man who had once demolished their armies, now brought low and humiliated, his strength a distant memory. The Philistines, in their arrogance, failed to see the transformative power of humility and repentance. They focused on Samson's defeat, his humiliation, and the spectacle he had become. But they overlooked the most critical aspect of this narrative. Despite his failings, Samson was still a child of God, and his story was far from over. In the throes of defeat, Samson found himself at his lowest point, but it was in this moment of weakness that he made a profound decision. Samson, amidst the mockery and scorn, turned back to God. He chose to embrace humility, to seek forgiveness, and to pray for one last surge of divine strength. His captivity and humiliation were not the end of his story, but a turning point that would lead to a powerful display of faith and redemption. Blinded and broken, Samson turned back to his faith, seeking redemption. Here, in the depths of his despair, Samson finds the courage to pray to God. His words echo the pain of his blinding, but also his unwavering faith in the Lord. He pleads, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just once more and let me with one blow get revenge on the Philistines for my 2 eyes." In this moment of raw honesty and surrender, Samson's plea is answered. God, in his infinite mercy, hears Samson's prayer and renews his strength. The strength that had once made him a hero, the strength that was taken away due to his own mistakes, is returned to him. But this time, it's not just physical strength that Samson regains. He also recovers his spiritual strength, his faith, which had been lost along the way. Emboldened by this divine intervention, Samson sets out to perform his final act of courage and sacrifice. He positions himself between the pillars of the Philistine temple, his hands pressing against the cold stone. With a mighty push, fueled by his renewed strength, Samson brings down the temple, killing himself and his enemies in one swift, decisive act. This final act is not just a display of physical prowess, but also of Samson's unwavering faith and resolve. It's a testament to his redemption, his transformation from a fallen hero to a redeemed servant of God. It's a moment of victory, not just over the Philistines, but over his own weaknesses and failings. Samson's story is a powerful reminder that no matter how far we may stray, no matter how great our mistakes, redemption is always within our reach. It's a testament to the power of faith, the strength of the human spirit, and the boundless mercy of God. In his final moments, Samson regained not just his physical strength, but his spiritual strength as well, leading to his redemption. Samson's life was a complex tapestry of strength, betrayal, and redemption. This narrative, rooted in the book of Judges, serves as a timeless reminder of the human capacity for both strength and weakness, and the transformative power of faith and redemption. Samson, a man of extraordinary physical strength, was chosen by God to be a Nazirite, dedicated to serving the Lord. Despite this divine appointment, he was not immune to human flaws. He struggled with temptation, betrayed his sacred vows, and fell from grace. Yet his story did not end there. His downfall began when he revealed the secret of his strength, his uncut hair, to Delilah. This act of trust was met with betrayal, leading to his capture and humiliation by the Philistines. Stripped of his strength and sight, he was reduced to a spectacle of defeat. But even in his lowest moment, Samson demonstrated a faith that reached out to God in desperate hope. In his prayer, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just once more," we witness the humbling of a once mighty man, reduced to his bare humanity, yet refusing to surrender to despair. God responded to his plea, restoring his strength for one final act of defiance against his captors. This act of faith and sacrifice led to a victory over Israel's enemies, despite the cost of his own life. Samson's story is a testament to the power of redemption and grace. It teaches us that even in our weaknesses and failings, we can find strength in faith. It reminds us to resist temptation and to stay true to our vows, for they are sacred bonds that define our relationship with God. Samson's life also illustrates that no matter how far we fall, it's never too late to seek redemption. Despite his moral failings, his story culminated in an act of faith that proved his worth in the eyes of God. In every flaw and failure, Samson's story reveals the transformative power of faith and redemption. The story of Samson is more than just a tale of strength and downfall. It's a narrative that underscores the power of redemption, even in the face of our greatest failures. Samson, despite his extraordinary physical strength, grappled with moral weaknesses. Yet in his darkest hour, he returned to God, displaying a profound faith that brought about a victory resonating with divine grace. His story serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of giving in to temptation and straying from our divine calling. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining our vows before God and the transformative power of faith and repentance, even when we falter. It's a testament to God's readiness to forgive and use even the most flawed among us for his divine purposes. In essence, Samson's life story is a powerful narrative of divine redemption that emerges from the ashes of human weakness and sin. This video was made possible by Hopkins, founder of Jehovah's House of Saints Homeless Mission. For more inspiring stories and messages, visit us at jehovahsaint.com.